Hey sweet thing, and welcome to day 30 of our Advent calendar. I can't believe we're nearly at the end. I hope you've enjoyed this series of daily check-ins. Please let me know if you have, and if you'd like them to continue maybe on a weekly basis in the new year. I've enjoyed being able to touch base with you every day, so maybe we keep the conversation going. What do you think? Okay, today's reflection on happiness goes in a slightly different direction, so let's make ourselves comfy, shall we, so that we can have a conversation. So find your way into whatever position feels good for you today. As always, might not be in an upright position. Maybe you're feeling the need to starfish on your living room carpet or something, or curl up into a ball. Whatever feels good and safe and right to you. Find your way there now. And when you arrive, relax your gaze or close your eyes, and let's take our settling breaths together. Breathing in through the nose or the mouth, and sighing the breath out loud. And another couple of times. Bringing fresh oxygen into the body on your inhales. Sighing it out loud, letting something go on the exhale. One more time. Deep inhale. Arriving into the here and now with your exhale. Beautiful. Now, how are you feeling? Physically, mentally, emotionally, energetically? Just noticing whatever it is that jumps to the forefront of your attention. You don't have to go searching for anything. Your body, after these 29 days previously, will be giving you a fair idea of what's going on, even if you don't have the words to articulate it yet. Maybe you notice you feel a bit off, and that's enough. It's the beginning for further self-exploration. But just noticing sort of any big emotions, feelings that are thoughts and feelings that are traveling in packs, and maybe whether you're feeling a bit flat or you're feeling quite energized. Today I want to talk to you about how important intention is as we move through this transitional phase between the end of one year and the beginning of another. Rather than repeating the year I've just had, I, for the past 5 or 6 years, have been using the tool of a word of the year. Now, this might be something that you're familiar with, or it might be a brand new concept. So the idea is that it's an overarching theme or touchstone for the entire year. Now, unlike the traditional resolutions where you decide that you're going to give up smoking, or you're going to lose weight, or correct whatever nasty habit that you have that you want to be rid of because it says something awful about you as a human being, because most resolutions, let's face it, are a failing of some kind. And if only you can achieve this thing, then you are going to be a much better version of yourself. But let's be honest, how many resolutions actually survive beyond the first month of the year? For people like me, at least, maybe you are an especially tenacious kind of person, and once you've set a resolution, it is set in stone, and you will move heaven and earth to achieve that thing. In which case, I am in awe of you, and I want to be just like you when I grow up, but I'm not there yet. So I find a word of the year is a gentler and more encouraging way for me to think about the things that I want to invite into my life. It might be about ways of behaving that nurture the habits that I know would benefit me. How about, instead of talking in vagaries, I will walk you through what I did this morning to arrive at my word of the year. Now, for me, I don't necessarily find the process takes all that long. Maybe it's because of repetition by now, or maybe it's because I've been reflecting each day and I sort of had in mind what I wanted for next year. So I usually begin with some kind of reflection about where I am in my life right now, what's working, what's not. Now this is, sometimes I sit and I write in my journal, you know, quite completely. This morning I just did some bullet points, things that are going well, things that aren't going so well. And the overriding theme for me was that I've become quite disconnected from myself while I am committed to giving and holding space for other people. And so I've reached the end of the year quite burnt out through, I don't know if there's a word for it, but you know, when you overgive, because not necessarily for any people-pleasing reason, but because it contributes to a sense of self that I have, that part of what makes me me is holding space for other people. And that is a wonderful thing to be able to do, but I haven't been balancing it with putting things back into me that I need in order to be able to maintain that kind of energy and output. So for me, realizing that I've actually drifted quite far away from the practices, from the ways I like to spend my time that make me feel like I am replenishing my own energy. And then I realized that also another overriding theme for me this year has been I keep signing up for things that I don't do or I don't finish. And it's making me feel a certain way about myself. I would like to have 2025 be the year that I realize I am a person that I can count on. So when I say to myself I'm going to do something, that I know that that thing will get done, instead of getting all enthused and my brain then marking that thing as done before I've even taken the first step. So I don't know yet what that's going to look like. I think it takes some more self-reflection. But I realized that those things would come together in a word like discipline. And unfortunately, when I opened the thesaurus, some of those words seemed so harsh. Like discipline as an action, as an attitude, is a very fine and an admirable thing. But my word of the year, I need something that I can also connect to emotionally. And discipline seems like somebody's standing over me, about to tell me off and reprimand me every time that I veer off course. And I do veer off course a lot. So I need a word that also allows me to course correct, to figure out when things aren't working and to choose something different. Discipline has a very unyielding quality as a word, as far as my mind is concerned. But I looked it up and, discipline gave me words like control and regulation and order and strictness and authority. And the idea of carrying such a heavy word into a brand new year felt demoralizing before it even started. So keeping in mind this idea that I need a word I can connect to emotionally as well as thematically, I came across the word cultivate. And that for me, as soon as I saw two definitions, one was to nurture and help grow, and the other was to develop or improve something by giving special attention to it, they seemed like the magic words that I needed. And the thesaurus gave me words like develop, enrich, upgrade, grow, advance, improve, polish, elevate, refine, enhance, progress, build, raise, and promote. All things which felt so encouraging and warm and something I could get excited about. I've also got the benefit of the word cultivate reminding me of a friend of mine. So, it's got that additional warmth and affection and all those lovely things to it. So my word for the year, I've chosen cultivate. It's going to give me a chance to reconnect with myself and with the practices and the things I like to do that really help me be whole, so that I can show up for other people. I can hold spaces that are genuinely nourishing for others as well as for myself. So that was my process. If the idea of a word of the year appeals to you, maybe you will arrive at yours in a very different sense. I just thought I'd outline how I go about it in case you thought, oh, that sounds like an interesting idea. I wonder how you do that. Everybody's going to come about it at some different way, but this was how my word of the year made itself known. I'd like to finish with a little quote from Jennifer Russell. She said, "I'm sure we've all heard expectation is the root of suffering, so maybe instead of expecting anything to make us happy all the time, we just need to prioritise the things that bring us joy, even if they look like wasting time to everyone else. Then we could visit our happy places more often and stay as long as we like when we get there." And I think for me, realising that connecting with myself is about these moments of purposeless joy, but it's also about things like meditation and movement, which I can find really difficult to commit to. But I know I feel so good when I make them a daily part of my life. So have a think about it. Does the idea of a word of the year resonate for you? Is this the first time that you're going to attempt it, or have you been practicing it for some time now? I hope that whether you decide to try this out or not, that 2025 brings you a different kind of energy. Maybe decide what it is that you would like to feel more often than not. You don't have to have a word, but maybe you have an emotion involved or in mind, and you reconnect to that. Is this going to make me feel whatever my prevailing mood is for the year? There's lots of ways to connect, so find what works for you, or discount it entirely and join me again tomorrow for our very final day of our Advent calendar. Let's end with our now traditional hug. So inhale the arms out wide to either side, smile at the sky. And as you exhale, cross the right arm on top of the left. Bring it in, breathe into it, feel that sensation of your hands holding on to yourself with affection, with strength. And then let's take it over to the other side. Arms out wide, and this time cross the left arm on top of the right. Just enjoy this moment for what it is. The fact that it has benefit doesn't really matter right now. Just enjoy that sensation of being held. And then let go. I hope you'll join me for our final day tomorrow. This has been an absolute joy to be with you. So until we're together again, mind how you go, sweet thing.